And it is time for a newsfeed right here. It's always a pleasure to update you on what is happening in matters news. And we start off with matters politics, as the Senate will this afternoon determine the fate of the embattled Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru. The 11-member select committee will table its report that was prepared yesterday. Sources indicate that the Malala committee-led committee and the county boards will propose the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission for the DPP to proceed and look into that particular case. And Elizabeth Mutuko, that is our political reporter, is in Parliament, will be joining us later to update us more on regards to that particular case. All right, now, away from that, of course, we'll be getting to know what will happen later on as Liz joins us. But now let's cross over to Narok. And Narok County has recorded a third COVID-19 positive case after county government staff tested positive. And as Mohammed Ali now reports, the county government is currently tracing those who came into contact with the victim.
Narok County has recorded a COVID-19 case after a person who works in Narok but hails from Nakuru tested positive, bringing the number to 3. Governor Samuel Tunai said that they will trace all those who came into contact with the person and put them in isolation as they wait for their sample results before they are released.
Mwenzetu mmoja ambaye anafanya kazi hapo Safaricom hapa town, ambaye anaishi Nakuru lakini anafanya kazi hapa, alichukuliwa sample uko Nakuru, na ile taarifa tunapata ni kwamba hata yeye ako COVID-19.
The governor urged the residents of Narok to be vigilant since the neighboring counties have recorded a high number of COVID-19 cases. Tunai also gave a stern warning to anyone found guilty of impregnating schoolgirls. He further directed the Narok County Security Committee to take action against those found conducting female genital mutilation.
We must ensure that people know that if you go near a schoolgirl, there are consequences. I want to call upon the county commissioner and the security team which are here. Please don't have mercy with any person who is involved with making young girls pregnant or these cases of FGM.
Narok County Commissioner Samuel Kimiti urged the residents to adhere to government directives in order to curb the spread of the virus.
Ningetaka niombe sasa, na sio sasa hata sio kuomba, tutarasimisha kila mtu awe na mask.
Mohammed Ali, TV47.
And the government, through the Ministry of Transport and Infrastructure, is constructing 2 new bridges in Magarini to cushion locals against the risk of crossing River Sabaki. This comes after 2-foot bridges were washed away by floods 3 years ago.
It's a sigh of relief for the residents of Magarini, Kilifi County, after the government, through the Ministry of Transport and Infrastructure, put up 2 new bridges, Bombi Kisiki and Shakahola Hawe Wanje. The government moved in to construct the permanent bridges after 2-foot bridges were washed away by floods 3 years ago, as well as to reduce the number of deaths of residents that have come about due to the highly crocodile and hippo-infested River Sabaki. The move by the national government is aimed at intervening to save lives because many were suffering, especially school-going children who were unable to swim over the dangerous river, risking their lives.
Baadhi ya wananchi wameweza kuwa wanavuka mto huu wakapoteza maisha kwa kutojua kuogelea katika maji haya ambao huwa yanaenda kwa kasi sana. Mara nyingine ninavyojua kwamba mto huu pia huwa uko na mamba, na tutapoteza maisha watu kupitia kwa wanyama hawa mamba.
The government has promised that 2 key bridges will open up the economy, and already with the tarmacking of Malindi Sala Gate Road, many investments have come up and both communities from both sides of the river stand to benefit. The MP, however, called on the ministry to speed up funding of the projects to hasten the completion in the stipulated time frame, as their vision is to complete the bridges during this COVID-19 pandemic when schools have been closed.
Project hizi mbili wazipatie uzito ule unaostahili. Na nataka saa hii wakati wa COVID ndio achukue hiyo advantage, kwa sababu ujue kwamba katika bridge hizi mbili kuna watoto wa shule ambao huvuka pande zote mbili. Nafikiri kwa sababu saa hii shule zimefungwa kwa sababu ya COVID, naomba kwamba waweze kuharakisha.
Chief Engineer and Project Manager Hilary Nyanga says that frequent flooding of the river and poor roads while transporting material to the construction site has been a big challenge, causing delays in the construction, but plans are underway to hand over the site by September.
The road accessibility from the main road is a big challenge. So the vehicles which were transporting these cages, they got stuck quite a number of days on the road. When you come here, when the water levels are high, especially when it has rained from upstream, you find you cannot work well in the rivers because you are working in the river and the speed of water sometimes is very high. By September, we should be moving out of sight, and the contractor should be moving out of sight, and the bridge should be usable.
Nanok Lauren for TV47.
Elsewhere, Kandui constituency residents in Bungoma County are threatening to convert the installed automatic sanitizing booths to shops. The booths were installed a few months ago as an effort in the fight against COVID-19 pandemic. According to the residents, the booths failed 3 days after installation.
Kuna booth hapa ambayo unapoangalia sana iliwekwa picha ya mheshimiwa Wafula wa Munyinyi. Walipoleta hapa ilikuwa inatakana ishughulikie mambo ya sanitization. Mpaka wa leo hatujui kama hii kitu ililetwa kwa sababu ya picha ama kusaidia raia.
Majina naitwa Kalisto Asilwa, mwendeshaji wa potapota hapa hivi. Hii kitu mheshimiwa ilete ilifanya tu siku 3. Sasa tumezoea hii kitu atoe, tuendelee tu kunawa mikono.
Ambao kwamba ililetwa haina maji, haina hata stima, iko pale haifanyi chochote. Sasa hata juzi wananchi wanasema wanaenda kuibadilisha iwekwe M-Pesa.
Wafanyie wananchi kazi. We are not interested in the party politics.
Now, moving on, residents of Kipsongo Premium in Kitale Town, Trans Nzoia County have lamented rising cases of insecurity occasioned by rampant power outage in the area. Boniface Baraza has the details.
The irate residents say they are worried of their security. They claim a group of youth have been roaming around their homes and business premises due to the power outage that has existed for more than a month.
Kama wakasa kuna security vijana wanatembea usiku ambapo kwa njia ya uhalifu kwa sababu bila light ukikutana mtu huwezi jua unakutana na nani. Hata unaweza kuwa tunaongea kwa simu, unaenda kwa duka na mtu anakupiga kofi na anaenda na simu na unashindwa kujua ni nani.
Hata majambazi nao huwezi tembea usiku mpaka hata huwezi enda toilet. Hata mtu anaingia kwa nyumba anabeba kitu juu kwa giza. Utafanya aje? Hata watoto wetu waka hatarini sana kwa giza.
Mwezi mzima tumekaa kwa giza, majambazi ni wengi pale mtoni. Hata wengine hapa unaweza pigwa rungu, wamama wanapiga nduru usiku, hakuna usalama. Sisi kama wafanyabiashara tunaumia sana. Tunauza mishumaa huko, mtu anaogopa usiku anaweza vamiwa, curfew ni saa 3.
This has denied pupils and students right to access education while at home due to corona pandemic, since the ministry issued a directive for learners to follow virtual studies online and through electronic media.
Walisema watakuwa wanasomea kwa TV. Sijui saa fulani wasijua class 8, saa fulani class 2. Saizi hakuna kusoma. Kilio wa pili, tujui corona imefika wapi. Sijui kama tuko 200 ama 4000. Hata sio kituambia story ya 1 meter away. Si hatujui 1 meter away sasa inamaanisha nini? Hiyo ndio kilio changu. Mturudisheni stima jamani.
The residents appeal to the Energy CS Charles Keter to intervene since their effort to seek audience with the management of Kenya Power Kitale branch have been futile.
Tuna matatizo mengi sana. Tumeenda mpaka kwa bwana Agoi akatuahidi transformer mpaka leo haijakuja. Sasa wamekuwa tu ni kesho. Tunashindwa tuko Kenya ama tuko Uganda.
Tunashangaa mwezi mzima bila stima. Tuko na mbunge kweli premium hii kweli? Mwenye anaweza katuwakilisha huko juu.
Nafanya kwa buchari hapo, lakini mi kazi imerudi chini kwa sababu ya stima. Tumerudisha tunapimia kilo ya mawe. Mawe imeanza imenirudisha chini.
Kwa muda tumekaa kwa giza. Mtu kama mimi kazi yangu ya welding ilisimama. Kuanzia stima ipotee sijaifanya kazi. Nendakana nitafute nilipe nyumba, nikule, nifanye nini, sasa ndafanya aje.
The management of Kenya Power is yet to respond to inquiries. Boniface Barasa, TV47, Trans Nzoia County.
And still in Mulembe Nation, sugarcane farmers from Western Kenya region are complaining about the cost of processing sugar. The farmers say the cost has been attributed by importation of the commodity from neighboring countries and has led to close down of sugar factories in the country. The farmers are now counting losses as they have nowhere to process their sugarcane.
Sugar imports have also increased by an alarming 21% in 2020 compared to 2019. The Ugandan farmer is paid 23% less, making their sugar much cheaper. This allows the cheap Ugandan sugar to flood the Kenyan market, especially in the places like Bungoma, Busia, and across all the Lake region economic areas.
Miwa inayotoka Uganda isiingie na hii sukari ilivyokuwa imesimamishwa izidi kusimamishwa.
Na wakulima ambao wako tuna miwa imekaa kama 26 months. Ingine imeenda 30 months haijakatwa. I'm sure wakati wanaendelea kuallow hii importation of sugar, hii tonnage inaenda kurudi chini kabisa na mwananchi yule wa kawaida ndiye anaendelea kuteseka.
Kali iweke kikomo kwa hii sukari ambayo inaagizwa kutoka nje.
Imekuwa ikiimbwa, kuna waheshimiwa wabunge wanakutana kwa mambo ya ukulima wa sukari, lakini hakuna mabadiliko.
In Huvasali, Kakamega County is living in fear following a mudslide that left them homeless in Huvasali village. Violet Salano, a mother of 6, is now sleeping in cold after her house was swept away. This is not the first time the area is facing mudslide, with locals now calling on the government to intervene.
Nilikuwa nimelala usiku masaa ya saa 8 na dakika 15. Nilisikia mlipuko. Nilipotoka nje nilipata kama nyumba yangu imeanguka. Tulikimbia na watoto hiyo saa 8 ya usiku. Tukakimbia tukaita majirani. Sina nyumba, sina kila kitu, hata ndizi sina. Miwa yangu yote ilienda. Saa inapikia tu kwa miti. Sina vile nitafanya. Niko na watoto wangu wako wanasoma Ngolomosi, watoto wawili, niko na watoto wote jumla watoto 6. Sina mahali pa kuenda na watoto. Mtoto wangu msichana ako form 3. Sijui analala wapi. Sijui hata nikienda huko, sijui analala vizuri ama vibaya mtoto msichana. Kijana tena analala tu kwingine. Sasa mimi nashindwa nitafanya nini?
Tulipokuja alisema hiyo mikazo inatokana na kutokutumia hiyo sehemu kwa njia inayotakikana. Sasa aliadvise wananchi wa hiyo sehemu wapande miti, akasema hata huwa wana discourage bulukam, lakini kwa vile bulukam iko na mizizi yenye inaenea jini kabisa, aliwaambia wako huru kupanda kwa hiyo sehemu ili ishikilie hiyo mchanga ya hapo pahali. Alisema destruction kubwa kabisa inatokana na ule uharibifu, ule ukulima unatokana pale.
Kiangalia zaidi hizi familia zimeweza kuathirika kwa wakati huu. Mahitaji yao ni mengi sana kutokana kwa mambo ya wanahitaji chakula. Wengine hawana nyumba mahali pa kukaa. Kwa hivyo tunaona kwamba hii sehemu ni sehemu inahitaji usaidizi mkubwa sana.
Horticulture farmers are among the worst hit by the ongoing coronavirus pandemic in the country. And with a slow global economy, most farmers have been counting losses following the closure of many borders and airspaces. Wige Williams spoke to some of the exporters on how the pandemic has hit them.
Export of fresh produce from Embu County has been hit hard by the COVID-19 pandemic. Jumbo Fresh, one of the companies involved in export of fresh produce, is counting losses to close to 30 million Kenya shillings in the last 3 months. 100 of its workers have as well been rendered jobless. The company has lost 60 tons due to cancellation of air travels.
Hii ikiwa season ya pili, season ya tatu ndio inaanza na tujue tutaanza vipi, kwa sababu sasa tunahitaji pesa nyingine ya kununua mbegu, tunahitaji kurudisha wafanyikazi ambao huwa tunaajiri wafanyikazi 50.
Naweza kuongea na clients wetu
na wamepromise watachukua hii mimea ikifika wakati wa high season. Hiyo ni wakati wa kutoka September ambayo inaitwa winter season upande wa Ulaya.
And with the slow global economy, companies that have been exporting their produce to Europe are now opting for Africa and local markets. Lockdowns in most countries has affected many Kenyan companies.
Mimea iko na a lot of medicinal value. Inasaidia sana, ina act kama antioxidant, na pia pale Italy wanatumia kwa Italian dishes. Inatumika kama spices kwa chakula. Ni vile hapa Afrika hatutumii sana, lakini kule Ujerumani na nchi za Ulaya wanazitumia zaidi sababu iko na umuhimu medicinal value.
The county government of Embu is however promising to intervene in reviving the already hit companies. The Martin Wambora government says it will offer loans to the companies.
County kupitia His Excellency Martin Nyaga Wambora anataka value addition inafanywe Embu. So vile nitafanya, nitashirikiana na Kenya Industrial Estate director kwa hapa Embu na Kildi hao nitashirikiana na wao nione vile tutakuwa na mkutano pamoja because wanakuwa na facility loans.
Horticulture is among the country's top foreign exchange earners. For TV47, I am Moige William.
Then cover the box.
And as earlier said, the Senate will this afternoon determine the fate of the embattled Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru. The 11-member select committee will table its report that was prepared yesterday, and as sources say that the Malala-led committee is likely to save the county boss. The committee is likely to propose the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, EACC, to investigate the governors further. And of course, Elizabeth Mutuku now joins us live to tell us more on what else we need to know. Elizabeth.
Well, good afternoon, Linda Lela. It's another big day for the Senate, considering that it will be hearing or it will be getting the report from the Select Committee, which has been hearing the petition of Kirinyaga people pertaining the impeachment of Governor Anne Waiguru. And according to sources, Linda Lela, Governor Waiguru has been exonerated of 2 charges, but 1 charges the Select Committee is yet to agree, and this means that this house will have to vote on this 1 charge, which I am yet to know which charges amongst the 3 charges. But one thing I know is that according to sources, Senate Committee and the county assembly didn't substantiate all the charges, and this will mean that the House will take a vote over some of the charges against Governor Anne Waiguru. And I will be joined live by Migori Senator Ochilo Yako pertaining what it means by the charges being substantiated and the charges not being substantiated. Thank you, Senator, for finding time to be with me this moment. I understand the House is about to receive the report from the Select Committee on the impeachment of Governor Anne Waiguru. If the charges are going to be substantiated, what does this mean?
Oh, thank you very much, Elizabeth. The committee was given the responsibility to investigate the allegations made against Governor Waiguru, to look at the evidence weight and report to the House which charges were substantiated and which were not substantiated. So today we expect the committee report. I am not privy to its content, but if the charges are not substantiated, then the report will be given to the House will note it. If the charges are substantiated, then the committee will be expected to have made a follow-up resolution as to whether the substance in the allegations met the threshold that would warrant impeachment. You know, it could be an allegation, yes. The allegation is supported by evidence, but does it warrant impeachment? That may be one way of looking at it, or it could be one that warrants impeachment. Then the House will listen to the content and the reasoning behind the committee's recommendation and take a vote. It requires a vote of a minimum of 24 delegations. We are 47 delegations because we represent 47 counties, 24 delegations. If 24 delegations agree that Governor Waiguru should be sent home, then that will be the verdict. If less than 24, then the recommendation whether to send her home or not, even if it is recommended by the committee, will be lost. So there is still another hurdle.
I understand, according to my sources, one of the charges the Senate Select Committee did not agree on it. Can this one charge take Governor Waiguru home?
Well, I don't know what you mean by they did not agree on it. What the plenary, including myself, expect are very clear recommendations based on the mandate we gave them. The recommendation must be like this. One, that charge A has been substantiated and it meets the threshold of impeachment. Or charge B is not substantiated. Or something like that. So when you bring it to the House, yes, you will say it's substantiated, but in order for it to be something that the House must entertain, then you must say that it meets the threshold of impeachment. Therefore, the House will be taking a vote as to whether to impeach or not to impeach. If it doesn't meet the threshold, then still the matter is lost. Waiguru will just be rebuked or will be, let me say, the House will reprimand her.
10 days have, it is being said that 10 days are not enough for the committee to be able to look into all these charges, considering that there will be more impeachments. What do you think about the 10 days for the committee to look into the matter and to make its report?
I think it's possible. It's possible to finish the matter within 10 days. Unfortunately, there is nothing much that can be done presently unless we amend the piece of legislation. If you look at the County Governments Act, where impeachment is provided for under Article 33, you will find that the time is fixed within that time frame. The world of when a motion of impeachment is being discussed, the anxiety of that county, the anxiety of that nation should not be extended for an inordinately long period. If you look at what is going on in Kirinyaga now, I am sure people are waiting for whatever it is with held breath. And that state of anxiety cannot be kept ad infinitum. So it is important to have a time frame that is reasonable and that meets the threshold of Article 47 of the Constitution that requires that justice be procedurally fair but be dispensed by any administrative body or constitutional body in a quick and transparent manner.
Some people feel that EACC should be sitting in the Select Committee to be able to know what is happening on some of the charges. What is your thought on that?
EACC should sit everywhere, including Parliament. EACC is a public institution charged with sniffing out economic crimes and ethical violations. So I absolutely agree. Since the impeachment committee was not holding its meeting in secrecy, and EACC officers are sworn to keep state secrets, they're entitled to be there to know any activity that is going on, and again to have information that may require the action. Impeachment is not the end of everything. Every impeached governor, if they are found to have violated any law that warrants prosecution, it would be important if the impeachment leads to subsequent prosecution, and that would only happen if investigation was allowed to take place.
If today the committee, the Select Committee and the Senate as whole exonerate Governor Waiguru, do you think that the public will be able to trust the Senate on other committees in future?
Well, public trust and public non-trust is about perception. I believe that the committee's report should be able to defend itself. Right now, we are not talking about Senate plenary. So the committee went out there, listened to both parties, gave them a time, and I believe in their report they will give very clear and very persuasive reasons for the decision they have taken. If the public should trust or distrust Senate, in my view, it should be based on how persuasive the reasoning is or how hollow the reasoning is. So that is my take.
Thank you so much, Mheshimiwa. That has been Migori Senator Ochilo Ayako pertaining today's ruling where the Senate is expected to receive this select committee report, and it's a matter I'll be looking keenly, and later on the day I'll be able to file a report towards this. Back to you in the studio.
Yes, Elizabeth Mutuku right there in Parliament. And of course, it's an eagerly awaited for afternoon, as the question then would be, will the Senate exonerate Madam Anne Waiguru? In this case, exonerate if, of course, they are going to absolve her from the blame, or exonerate whether they're going to relieve her from her duties as governor of Kirinyaga. We await to hear that, and we'll be updating you accordingly later as we proceed. Now, moving on to some other political stories. ANC party leader Musalia Mudavadi says he is firmly in the 2022 presidential race. Mudavadi spoke amid speculations he has been holding meetings with possible political partners. Meanwhile, ANC's National Governing Council is set to meet next month to discuss the party's way forward. Nominated Member of Parliament Godfrey Ototsi has been calling for the party's grassroots election after the expiry of the term of the current office holders.
Session of the Governing Council of the party shall be held on Friday, the 26th of June 2020 at 10 a.m. at the party headquarters situated at Loyangalani Avenue, Lavington, Nairobi. Further, pursuant to the provisions of Article 25.5 as read together with Article 24.2b, the NGC shall transact the following business. Agenda 1. To review and ratify recommendations of the National Executive Committee meeting of the party held on Thursday, the 11th day of June 2020, by order of the National Executive Committee and the party leader, signed Kelvin Lunani, National Chairman of ANC Party.
And I am serious, ladies and gentlemen, our target is the presidency. So go knowing that that is the target. Hii propaganda nyingine na nini itakuwa.
And that's all we had for you on Newsfeed. Looking forward to see you again tomorrow, same time, same place. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing. My name is Linda Alela. Later on in the night, we'll be coming to you on our primetime bulletin. That is at 9 p.m. on Matters Good Vibes. Don't you go anywhere. Keep it. TV47.
Sarma Enterprises Limited. We are your